happening, you beautiful humans? My name is Ariane Andrew.
I'm Matt Dillon, and welcome to another piping hot episode of Sippin' the Tea, where we
Sip the tea and our guests.
spill that tea, girl.
Oh,
that was
no. I'm going to need you to...
I rewind. Spill that tea! Yeah!
Yes.
Baby, honey,
Okay.
we're doing Davy Boi proud, girl.
Yes, because, well, I don't know, that was really stink. Who
What's
we
up,
got?
Miss Mama?
And we have little Glitty. Oh, she's coming to say hello.
And the man is on a mission. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today downloads in the hundreds of thousands. He is one to watch. His mission is very unique. His music is very unique. And him as a person, just meeting him for the first time, the aura is real. Davy Boi, what's up, my friend?
Hello.
Thank you for being
are
here.
you?
Thank
Yes,
you for
of
being
course, of course.
Ready to give us some
Yes, to
behind the
spill.
scenes, that dirty mind?
Just spill the tea.
Yes.
Yes.
But by the way, that was Dirty Mind, his latest single, but we got some tea around the corner.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's talk about the dirty mind.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm ready to dig
Actually,
in.
your dirty mind. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I want to take it back. I want to discuss your journey. Where
Yes.
everything started, your music, and when you knew you had a passion for it.
Journey. So I moved to Los Angeles, maybe like 4 or 3.5 years now. Yeah, that's my LA. That was my move. Before that, I lived in the Bay Area of California. I moved there from Louisiana.
He's a good southern.
Yeah. This is a great clip from Lizzo the other day that she said that she was that bitch because she was boarding a plane from San Francisco to Baton Rouge, and you can't even spell Baton Rouge. You bitches can't even spell Baton Rouge. And I was like, well, I can because I'm from Baton Rouge. So I'm from there, yeah, and I did art like all my life in the South. If you're an artist in the South, you always do church. Yeah, I did church and I sang in choir, and that was a lot of my upbringing there. But also, I was like a performing arts school my entire life. So I've dabbled in like all of them, like visual art, poetry. I sew, I design, so like the whole nine. And I went to school out east for music and business. And then I went back to the Bay Area to like hang out for a second, figure out what I was doing with my life. And I
As he says, he's like 12 years old. Like,
yeah. And then I prepared for my big move down here, and like, yeah, I've just been on a journey trying to like meet people, write. Actually, because I did my degree in business, I actually started working out at like interning at labels and stuff, and got a job as a marketing manager, doing work for other artists.
Okay.
And that's kind of helped me on my own project, my own PR, my own marketing and whatnot. And yeah, like it's just been like kind of a step-by-step journey to like get me to the point where I'm ready to like produce content, write all my own songs myself. I work with like a couple different producers out here now. I have a network of friends that I like a lot who also do art. It's kind of like a little community of artists. And yeah.
Just a jack of all
I
trades.
love that,
over
though.
here.
It's like you've segmented a journey together, and you've kind of, just by following your passion and your truth, being able to like just flow. I'm sure it hasn't been all like easy waves, but you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? But it's nice to see that if you lead with passion and lead with the purpose of leading with what your gut wants, that you'll get to, you'll be on the right path at least. And I feel like I get a really authentic vibe from you.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, like I'm honestly, if I wasn't being an artist, I don't know what I would be doing because it's kind of like my thing. I tried to do like a couple of other things. Like I thought for a second that I wanted to be a scientist.
Okay.
No, literally.
Did you get good grades in high school in science?
I did get good grades. Yeah. I was actually scouted to like treat if I wanted to like skip a couple grades and like do like science. But
Okay.
I hated like, for instance, like I do design, but I hate sewing. So I liked getting to the final result, but not the actual write it all down homework thing. So or show your work thing. So that didn't work out. So I was like, no, I'm gonna stick to art.
Love it.
Okay.
So I can just drop a single.
I mean,
be
to
done.
You, to you.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think if I wasn't being an artist, like I don't know what I'd be doing. So yeah, it's all like it's just every little aspect, whether it's like dance or design or whatever it is, I love it all.
I get it. And being the creator that you are, have you felt like there's been a lot of obstacles, or do you feel like the path has been easy to get to where you have today? Or
Let's get those
Yeah.
obstacles.
Yeah.
Come on, give us
Obstacles.
some
Yeah.
shit. Come
Well, I don't know if like, okay, so for instance, my family was very, very supportive. Like growing up in the South, like especially in a family that's like religious, like I had this pressure to like, I would say to like not like come out. I had another cousin who came out and it was very, 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 very hard for him to come out. And I saw like the journey that he went through with like coming out and whatnot, and it was like his side of the family was not so. To be fair, like I didn't really give my side of the family like the credit they deserved, I guess. But like that was my first obstacle, was kind of coming to the grips of like coming out. I was also like overweight as a child, so I was dealing with like the pressure of like me being a little bit bigger. So I kind of like dove headfirst into art because it was my only like I didn't have to prove anything as an artist because I was naturally good at art, and then it was like you had friends naturally that way. So like I didn't have to be the popular kid, I just had to be the best at this particular thing.
Hey.
So if you're the lead in the play, I mean, how are you not popular? So that was my that was my rationale. And so yeah, the obstacles to me were like getting the self-confidence enough to be out there and say like this is what I want to do, full stop. And claim that. For instance, like I was originally trying to be maybe a Broadway kid or something like that because I've done so many
I
musicals.
can find that.
And my obstacle was I thought, you know what I mean, like I have light skin, like they wanted you to play a type, you know what I'm saying, on stage.
Yeah.
So it was like I have light skin, but I'm black, I have black features. What am I gonna play the lead role? Am I gonna play the best friend role? So it was this thing where I was like, what will I get cast as? As like was a person with albinism, as an albino man, like who am I gonna get cast as in shows? So even though I went to school for that, I kept thinking to myself, like, what is the biggest obstacle to me being successful? And I just thought like I wouldn't be able to make it. And so it wasn't until it was a random culmination of things. My grandmother had seen like Sean Ross on the Tyra Banks
I
show.
love Sean.
And she like told me to like turn it on Tyra Banks, and this was like years ago. So I was like, okay. So then I saw him on Tyra, and I was like, wow, like he's out there and he's working and he's made. This is before even Instagram was really big, so I didn't know he had a profile, whatever. But I was just like, wow, he's out there, he's really doing his thing. And then literally within like a year or so after that, or maybe I don't know, was it shortly after me deciding I wanted to go to school for songwriting and music business, I saw Frank Ocean like come out as like a out musician and come as a black man and out musician. And I thought like if Sean Ross can be modeling and Frank can be doing his thing, like what's stopping me? So kind of I would say my journey has been like finding a self-confidence in myself to believe that art or a career in art was possible for me. Just thinking growing up, people telling me that I was weird or staring at me for whatever reason. Now all that has shifted into people stare at me for like me being cute or like people like my music, so it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
No, I mean
Embrace the skin
seriously.
you're in.
I've said that,
agree.
but in other places too though, because I didn't even know people would want to see me post photos online until I got a dating profile. And people were hitting me up. So I was like, and I literally had this photo. It was like me, like this, like really like low angle. So I didn't want people to say that I had this like crazy like Afrocentric blonde hair. So I literally didn't have a good profile picture up on my app either at that point. So I was getting like hit up, but I wasn't getting hit up a lot. As soon as I put up like a full face photo, it was like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
So I like, I would say my whole journey from art to being comfortable with who I am has all been about just settling into myself.
It's beautiful to hear that. I read, so one of the big headlines, I think it was the Gay Times, that said,
yes, love them.
to be the first queer albino pop star, major bitch.
Yes, yes, yes.
I also read deep within that article that it's, and I'm not saying anyone that we've mentioned prior uses certain aspects of themselves as like, you know, there's fad cultures and different things like that, that you live who you are, your appearance, your internal, your outside, every part of you. I feel like that's one part of you, and I love that, like that, what you just explained, that journey. How was that a journey to acceptance, like being ready to like put yourself out there as the music man, as the person? How long did that take for you to get comfortable, especially in LA? Like you came to LA, was that something that, did you get pushback on that, or was that just internal?
I was gonna say, like, it really, I have to say this because it really was, to me, internal. Like, there are external factors because people always tell you, how are you gonna market yourself? Like, how are you going to, like, because I did get told by casting people, like, what are we gonna put, what are we gonna put you in as, like, what are we gonna cast you in? For instance, I went out for, I don't know if I ever told this story before, but
wait.
But,
That's some good Red Bull
one of
tea.
my first sort of like intern positions was I had worked in the casting office for Glee, and this was around the time when they were casting like Chris Colfer's like first boyfriend, which ended up being Darren Criss. And no, Darren Criss, he's great. I wanted to play a part on the show, wanted to maybe be that part, wanted to maybe like do something, and they loved me. Like I knew the whole office just as like a artist being in school or an artist like. However, they were like, well, you're about to graduate. Like, what would you want to do? Like, are you going to audition or are you going to be in, like, would you want to be in the casting office? At the time, I didn't have anybody who was a person of color working, you know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
really, seriously. So, like, they were like, do you want to, like, and so on the phone was Robert Ulrich and people from the office, and I was like, I hung up. I didn't think it was real. So I, because I had tried to apply to be on the show. And when they called, it was about the position or auditioning. And I was like, what do I do? I literally in that moment was just like, I'll do castings. I don't think I'd make it. Like it was. So it's been this whole thing where I've always been like, I always have set aside like whatever I wanted to do, thinking like I wouldn't be able to. So now the mission has been like, okay, now that I'm like in LA, like I think I've finally come to. I like my look now. Like I like my vibe now. And all that, like in that moment, now if I would have had that same moment where the call would have been like doing whatever, I would have said, of course, put me on this show.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because, like, for instance, like I know, like Kevin McHale was just saying that Lizzo had like tried out for Glee Project or something like this, and didn't make it onto the show. I mean, like, but like that's what I'm saying. So like that would have been like my experience then too. But I just find that it's like, you know, when you have these people who are like great. And I know for Lizzo, her journey has been like being comfortable with being the power, the empowerment figure that she is now, being with her weight and everything. And now she's flipped that whole entire thing. But like at this point, I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Lizzo had that journey, like, but this girl was still talented back then. You know what I'm saying? I was still talented back then also.
Yeah.
But it has to be this thing where you make your own choice, what you're gonna do to flip your own narrative. And so now I've flipped my narrative. Yeah.
You flip your
Yes.
face and repeat that. There's
Right
a
here,
camera
this
right
camera right
there.
here.
Yeah.
People need to hear
I
it.
flipped my own narrative. Yeah. Now I'm telling my own story.
And that's what you have to do. I mean, I think that this is so great because you see, we live in such a crazy world right now, but we're in such an empowering world where it's like you can be anything and do everything because things are changing. So you can't let that, you know, your story has just like chapters, each chapter to the book. So now you have the next chapter. The next chapter, what I want to get into is the song Dirty Mind.
Yes, my like big like
Yeah, so let's talk about that. What was, you know, did that come from, you know, personal experience? You write on personal experience? Just take us back on how that whole journey of Dirty Mind came along.
Okay. So I would come to Los Angeles. I had literally made up my mind the first year I was here that I wasn't going to be. It's like my journey in chapters, but this chapter was I've got my degree now. I'm gonna just be a business kid because I've tried so long to do the little artist project. I'm done, so I decided to be an intern and like get a job as an assistant in a publishing company. And at the company, I was sitting around and I was getting my friends like hookups for like, you know, syncs or like publishing or whatever, trying to get them like deals and stuff. And so like, but they would hit me up and they would say, well, dude, like you're so good though. Like, why are you doing this for us? But like, are you gonna pitch your own music? And I was like, no, I'm done with this. I'm done. And so after like hearing this for like 8 months, my first 8 months here, I was just like, well, maybe I should. I don't know. And so then I was doing a musical that I was writing with a friend. But I hate, like I said, I hate doing a little work behind the scenes. So like, although I can do things, I literally like one of those people with the homework thing. So like, I didn't want to chart my own scores. So I wanted to write the music and compose, but I didn't want to actually go and like write on the libretto and like write the notes. So I hired somebody to do this. One of my friends who like is super fast. He does it in like literally 5 minutes, like flat. He was telling me that he was out here for producing and songwriting, but he was like I knew him from being a classical musician. So he wanted to do the pop project. So I was like, okay, maybe what are you doing? Turns out that now he's like working with like Kanye and like Tiana Taylor and like Little Nas, everybody now. So he turned his classical thing into like a pop project. That's around the same time I was like, well, maybe I should just do that. So we started producing work back when we first met up. This is like 2017. And I was like, maybe I'll just start writing new music. So Dirty Mind came out of like the sessions we were having, trying to convince me to like be back in the pop, to be back putting out music. And so we had tried for maybe like, I don't know, 4 months or something, trying to get back into this vibe of songwriting. So I had been off for such a long time. finally I was like going out on dates in LA and
That's where it always happens.
yeah.
I'm like,
And
date.
so I was dating this guy, and it was like 4 weeks. It was going on. I mean, it was like what I would think would be like a steady string of dates and whatnot. I think it would have ended up being that he actually was trying to like. I was like a rebound essentially, and he was really into this guy who he was trying to get back, as opposed to be with me actually. And like I took it as like a sexual thing, as opposed to like an actual interest, genuine interest. So I saw him out in West Hollywood one night, you know, as you do, as you walk the strip. And I looked back and I was like, yo, what? Was he using me? So the next day, I mean, Dirty Mind, I wrote this in like 5 minutes. He put on this beat and I was like, this is sick. The track, which is the one it is now, I was like, this is amazing. And so I just wrote the chorus because I just thought, you know, he only wanted me as a rebound and for sex. So it was like one of these things where it wasn't, I thought it was something else, but it really wasn't. So I just turned it into a flip where I'm just like thinking, okay, this is what he wants. I mean, are we gonna give it to him? And that's the journey of the song, and came out of, like I said, like dating in LA.
Listen, you turned the grapes into like a smash. It's gritty, it's gritty, it's filthy, but it's got that vibe and appeal to it that I was like, and the visual for it is sickening.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would love the video.
It's beautiful. I think that your creative juices, I can't wait to see like literally what is ahead for the rest of 2020.
Tell me about it. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we only got a few.
We got a few.
We have a quick little small nugget for you to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
what's happening?
Just a quick little, if you could do it in an elevator pitch.
Okay.
A small little tea of we can expect for 2020.
Okay, 2020. You will see 2 EPs from Davy.
Damn.
Okay.
At least 4 or 5 visuals because we have to give the girls what they want. They want to see me out. And I would like to hopefully, knock on wood, like open up for a couple of artists on the road next year. But that's like in my little bucket list of things to do for 2020.
Throw it out into
and throw it out into But yeah, definitely 2 different EPs. I'm working on them right now actually. One is sort of like my roots in pop and soul and R&B, which I'm doing more ballads and more singing. I'm trying to get back to letting people know that I'm a singer, so I'm trying to do a lot more of that.
Okay.
And then one is a full out sort of like dance project, but like dance like a classical sense dance.
Not trap music.
Not trap. No, I mean, to be fair, I love trap. I love a trap beat. But like, yeah, no, this is like house, Marvin Gaye, or like Sylvester James, like that kind of stuff.
You just got the whole
2020
thing.
is gonna be, he just ate it.
Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
You gotta tell everybody for all that bombness that you have.
Yeah.
Right here in the camera,
yes,
where everybody can follow you at, where everybody can get the music, the whole nine, spill the tea.
You can follow me at I am Davy Boi at Instagram, Twitter. I'm trying to think. What are they? Instagram and Twitter, YouTube. All of those at I am Davy Boi.
Raya, Grindr.
Oh yeah, I'm on that moment too.
I was like, girl, slip it in.
My Tinder link. Wait, I don't have that.
I am Davy Boi. I can sign up with you.
Sign up in the DMs for that.
Okay, yeah.
The Instagram.
And they do.
You guys can follow me across the board at Ariane Andrew.
You can follow me at Matt Dillon 1983, and let's cheers it out.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see what's happening.
And on that note, we will catch you guys
Sip
on
the
tea next
tea.
week.
Yeah!
Yeah, you got the wrong number. Click.